Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Sean Walls. I'm from the south side of the city. I'm a community activist and an organizer.
I'm John Christiansen. I guess I'm not, I don't know where I'm from in this city, but I live on the west side now. I'm also an activist, community organizer. I've spent a lot of time in this community. This is our first episode of Just COS, new web show, I guess, that me and Sean are doing to bring people up to speed what's going on in Colorado Springs and get people activated. Anything else to add, Sean?
Yeah, man. We're looking for this thing to be somewhere that for activists, the people that are already active in the city, maybe not so much, and they're just trying to find a place to be, to kind of galvanize and talk to each other. You know what I'm saying? And for the rest of the city to be able to listen to us and hear the things that we're about to go off about. You know what I mean? So this is kind of a place for all of us to kind of get our ideas out, and it's just COS. It's just cause. So that, and this is why it's important for the people in our city to pay attention to what's happening on this show.
But it's also a just cause.
It is.
It's everything. Everything you can do with that.
It's all wrapped in one, right? It's all wrapped in one.
It's like meta, everything. All right.
Yeah.
So today we're going to be talking about the coronavirus, how people have been dealing with it in Colorado Springs. We'll look mostly at Colorado Springs, but we'll look a little bit about the state nationally, because there's like a lot of shit going on. It's crazy times right now. So a lot of people have been doing a lot of interesting things around town. But first, I think it'd be interesting for our viewers, since this is our first episode, just to hear what we've been up to. So what have you been up to during the stay-at-home order there, Sean?
Well, hey, so I'm lucky I hadn't lost my job. You know, it's really not something to joke or laugh about, man. There's a lot of people like that are, that are in a bad spot right now. You know what I'm saying? They've been laid off, been furloughed, been fired altogether. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of people that are questioning their future or whatnot. And I'm lucky enough to have, before this happened, I was a part of a roofing company, and this season we're getting ready to kick up, so things are kind of warming up. You know what I'm saying? We're considered to be an essential business to provide sound roofs for people's houses and things like that. So we're out there trying to get it done.
People need roofs over their head for sure.
Exactly, yeah, man. So they want to make sure you take care of that investment. You know what I mean? But it's slow, right now. It's still not, it's not the beginning of the season really yet. So I've had a lot of time to just be with the family, man. I'm building a garden bed. I got pictures on Facebook and stuff, people making fun of me, but hey, it's going to be nice, man. It's going to be nice.
There's a lot of lumber involved in that. I was really surprised about the amount of lumber that you have involved in that.
Nah, well, it's extra, man. It's extra. I got a couple projects. I bought a whole bunch of shit for it. So anyway, I've been working on that, man. I got my stepson out there teaching him how to lay, how to put posts up and, keep it level and all that good stuff, fencing posts and things like that. So yeah, man, it's been an opportunity to kind of do things that I wasn't paying attention to before. You know what I mean? So it's kind of a gift and really not a curse. There's really nothing bad about it. Actually, right now anyway, we got some things coming up that we're going to talk about that we're realizing it's not all good right now, though.
For sure. You gotta put those kids out there to work, digging posts.
Right. Hey, look, I don't know about y'all kids, but mine, he will sit on this game for 8 hours a day and be up there for, and then he'll come down for 30 minutes to eat some food, and then he'll go back up there talking about he's tired, man. So, it was spring break, whatever was going on, and the schoolwork kind of adjustment happened. All of that's done. It's time to get your ass up in the morning and get to work, man. So we're going to make sure we don't turn into fat bodies over here.
Yeah, for sure. I've started setting my alarm again and everything. My son, they just started sort of yesterday back at school, like officially. So yeah, otherwise it's a lot of video games.
Yeah, I've been laying around and stuff, man. Yeah, the alarm thing is a big deal, dude. I had to do that just to make sure I start getting my ass up and getting the purpose about it, man. So I'm not laying around all day, man. I'm sure everybody's doing the same thing, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. What's next? What we talking about?
Well, I know I've been doing a lot of weird shit around the house for sure. A lot of cardboard and duct tape projects.
The who?
A lot of cardboard and duct tape projects.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. Is he having fun with that, man? Hey, dude, it's so crazy how the smallest shit will entertain a kid, and it's like you're being perfect to him. You know what I'm saying? It's not they're not even. You don't even feel like you're holding them back from anything, man. Just giving them a box and a stick or something. You know what I'm saying? You can see it. But what's the projects with the with the duct tape and stuff?
I mean, I don't know. I've been having a lot more fun than he has, I think. But so I'm like, look, just go over there. You're ruining the project.
Like, hold on, guy, hold on. Yeah, this is for me.
Made some racetracks and stuff, though.
Oh yeah, okay, that's dope, man.
He's like, I don't want to play with these anymore, Daddy.
Yeah.
And I've been going on a lot of walks, so.
Yeah, I saw you guys' face mask picture today, man.
Yeah, we were like
pretty dope.
Well, I mean, the masks are handy for lots of things, so you know.
Right. Hell yeah.
All right. So
man, hey, what about the city leadership, man? First off, I think that there's a lot of elected, okay, maybe not a lot. There's a few elected officials that are actually, trying to do their best. The county commissioners, Commissioner Gonzalez, he's doing a really good job of making sure that he's not putting any craziness, like he's really following it, standardized, I don't know what the word is called, like he's putting things out on purpose, you know what I'm saying? And he's not, just willy-nilly posting stuff. So he's been a really good source.
What's he putting out there?
Just, information from the CDC, talking about testing, the test kit updates and things for the state of Colorado. And, there was a couple posts that he's talking about cleanliness and, he posted some things about the things to do with your kids to teach them to wash hands, to have fun washing their hands and staying clean, little things like this. So, but though, and then a lot of it is just Polis. Polis has been leading this whole thing. It seems like single-handedly to me.
Yeah, for sure. Around here,
to get all of the different mayors to get in line, and they had to do different things to make that happen. And it seems as though they're starting to take it serious, man. Just last week, I saw that El Paso County is leading the entire state in confirmed cases of the coronavirus. So,
for deaths, I mean, we're the highest for deaths. It's like, what
deaths,
the hell?
yeah, exactly, man. So it's like, who knows, man? I don't know what that fact. Nobody will probably ever really know the real truth, but not jumping in, our leadership, not jumping in face first to this thing and stopping it, I'm sure it was a contributing factor, you know what I mean? That the governor had to come back again to say, hey, no, yeah, actually, yes, you are. El Paso County is going to follow these things, you know what I mean? And this is how, so, maybe, I don't know. We'll see, man.
Yeah, I mean, Polis clearly put that plate of statewide stay-at-home order in effect, like, because of El Paso County. We're the second largest county in the state, and we're just, Mayor Suthers was like, well, I'm not going to make anybody do anything.
I don't see that happening here.
Yeah. He's like, it's so weird, his attitude, because he's like so hands-off with this, but then he's like such a law and order guy with other things, He's like, I don't want to be the bad guy here, but it's like, anything else, and he's like, look, people got to get in line.
Right.
Yeah,
you can't walk outside of the parade and start yelling. That's completely outside of bounds there. But this thing here is just, I feel it, man. And I think it, like, so I don't know if it was, not subconscious, like on the second level underneath, like he kind of got in line. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
He didn't say, oh, my bad. I misspoke or spoke too early, but everything is kind of like on that way to happening, man. I don't know. I mean, I talked on my social media about the effectiveness of being able to tell Americans, hey, dude, stay your ass in the motherfucking house. You can't come out. I don't know. I don't see that happening completely, man. I don't know. I don't see it happening, man. Unless people comply. You know what I'm saying?
It's difficult for me. I gotta admit it.
Right.
Like, so, it's hard for me to just stay at home all day.
Yeah, and then be told that I can't walk outside or whatever. Like, definitely not in my yard. And like, there would be a problem. You know what I mean? But I understand going to parks, but I don't know, man. I don't know what. I don't know, man. Yeah, I don't see it happening where Americans are gonna be like, oh yeah, I'm not gonna go out because you told me I can't go out.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
I don't see that happening, man.
I mean, there's just a lot of Americans who are like, if you tell me not to do something, I'm going to do it. Like,
I'm gonna go do it.
yeah,
Exactly,
exactly.
man. And you know what's needed, man? It's needed to keep balance, because if not, man, you know, I think that there's places like in I saw this thing on Vice in Belarus. They are still playing soccer there. Like their soccer league is like, nah, dude, we're still running this and we're doing it. But the people are like, nah, I'm not coming, dude. So their whole stadium is empty. It's like 5 or 10 people in the stadium, but it is citizen driven. Like I'm not going to that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, totally.
So of course in America that is not happening. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and then the minute that that does happen is when the government will be able to enforce it. You know what I mean? Because they'll have, you know, overall compliance of it, and then they'll be able to smash the rest of the people that's not compliant. So, yeah, man, hey, it's a catch-22 with this virus stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm not playing with it. You know what I mean? Unless I have to. You know, there's some issues coming up that we're gonna talk about. Inside of there was a news story inside of the Concord that we just talked about. So, you know, there's some things happening that, you know, we might need to take our ass out there. You know, we might have to go make some noise, you know, so we'll see.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's
my bad, man.
For me
I'm
too,
over here running my mouth, man. What you got?
That's what's been hard for me too, is like, you know, because there's all this online organizing and activism has sort of happened, and I'm like, that's my worst place. I can't do that. You know, but I wanted to go back to something about with the mayor. The one thing with the mayor was like, every time the governor comes out with a new order, you know, the mayor's like, we're going to listen to the governor. I'm like, motherfucker, you couldn't do that back with the Devon Bailey case though, right? You know what I'm saying?
Oh. Fuck, man, don't bring that shit up. You're right, man. Yeah.
It's like, I'm just going to follow the governor's lead. Yeah, it's like.
Right, now we're law and order. It's different now. I see what you were saying about that. Yeah. God damn,
for
dude.
sure.
Yeah, man, fuck that guy, man.
Yeah. I mean, we do have.
Sorry. Hey, we're going to cuss on this show. I'm sorry, man. I got a bad, I don't know. I don't think it's really bad, man, but I cuss, man. So, yeah, sorry if that.
Yeah, me too. Sorry for everybody who doesn't like cussing. My friend James.
Yeah.
Sorry, James, if you're watching this.
Damn, James, my bad, man.
No, one thing the mayor has been up to, though, which I think is pretty fun, is he's been cutting a rug.
Yeah.
So this is like, I feel like this is like something that's going to go down in infamy. I mean, I know he was trying to bring some levity to the situation, but, you know, I don't know. This just seems a little Marie Antoinette-esque as the deaths pile up in El Paso County, you know, like
we're
Southerners
dancing
out there.
Yes, everything's okay over here. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Definitely not the time for that. I don't know, man. Whatever, dude. Hey, have fun, man. And you know, we've heard that his family may. I don't know if it's like confirmed or not, but his family had some tragedy just recently or whatnot. So, you know, it's what it's all about, man. Families together. Yeah, we'll give him a break, man. Heck yeah. But though he did have his damn pants tucked into his belly button, though.
Okay, look, so.
Yeah.
So what about the rest of City Council? You've been following them? What's been going on with them?
Man, so I flipped through Yolanda's page, and yeah, man, it's a bunch of repost, regurgitation, you know, some things about the transportation. You know, I always give Yolanda credit about, you know, I think she ran for city council on the disabled transportation issue. I mean, you know, some more things like that. But, you know, the disabled community, making sure that they're not being forgotten in this growth or whatnot. And I believe that she's been effective with that. Great. You know what I mean? That's fantastic. But there's more people here. I've said this over and over again. There's more people here. She needs to do more than that. It's not her only job to do what she wants, what she cares about. You know what I'm saying? Like,
for sure.
Like, you should just be a community activist like me. And so, you know what I'm saying? Like, get your medal there. You know what I'm saying? Instead of doing that and wasting space, man. So,
I mean, the problem is, like, she's just like so, like I agree. I'm with you like 100%. I think she's a better rep for Southeast than they've had in the past.
Oh
And
yeah,
I think that, you know, and I'm a big public transportation advocate, so I'm all like right on, do some public
yeah,
transportation advocacy and shit. But you know, she's a city councilor, and every time somebody brings up anything like, oh, you know, we'd like this, she's like, how dare you? How dare
yeah.
you criticize me? I'm
Right.
just
Like
a
we're
city
wrong.
council. You're a fucking public official, you know.
Yeah. You know,
So
make them get you out of there. Like there's not a chance that she should be quiet on nothing. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah,
she, you know, we had some not altercations, but you know, public interactions where we were like, you know, where
somewhere
we were
between
like,
an
hey, what's
altercation and an
happening?
interaction.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, I don't want to make it seem because I don't think that we were ever disrespectful towards her. It was just, hey, you know, we had to make sure that she understood that she was messing up, and that was our feeling about it. You know what I'm saying? So she got at you, all of a sudden you're this abhorrent person because you cursed at her. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or you cursed inside the city council. Like, man,
Right.
get out of here. Like, shut the hell up. So
Well, she wasn't too bad with that, I guess. Those other city councilors.
and that's where I was getting at. So there was a few times where she was like, hey, y'all need to look around, and it's not just me. Like, I can't, like, all of these people are ignoring this shit too. But she couldn't
Yeah, yeah.
say it like that. You know, she did
Right.
in so many words. And I was like, she's right. Like, you know, sometimes when we went straight at her seat, like we should have went at all of them. Like, you stupid, your mother, and this, you did this. We didn't do that. You know what I'm saying? It was just, you're my rep. You should be speaking, and she should have been. But
Yeah.
I think that we could have gave Gabler some. We could have gave them all some. You know what I mean? And I still might.
I mean, but there's a reality. You got to be strategic too. It's like she's your rep. I mean, she's claiming to speak on behalf. I mean, on behalf of the Southeast. You know, you know, Scorman's my representative, so I'll go after him. He's also, you know, a progressive. So you kind of like, it's a horrible thing in politics, but sometimes you have to be a little bit rougher on your closer allies. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
I don't think that Andy Pico is going to be doing shit for us. You know, I mean, maybe
And
he'll
he makes
surprise
it
me,
known.
but yeah, I mean, I haven't seen him screw up too bad, but I have to say with the coronavirus stuff, and maybe I haven't been paying attention as close as I should. I just haven't seen a ton of leadership from any of them, from the mayor, from city council. Like,
like you shouldn't have to look for leadership. You shouldn't have to search for
exactly.
it. Go, you know, it shouldn't. I mean, okay, like, yeah, maybe if we're talking about individual people that's not even our rep, you know what I'm saying? Okay, got it. Maybe I should have to go search for what they're saying. But though, dude, what the hell is keeping all of you from saying the same shit to all of us at the same time on the news 3 times a week, 2 times a week or something? You know what I mean? Like, nothing. You just ain't doing it. You don't want to do the shit.
Exactly. That's what we were talking about before. Like, we all know who Andrew Cuomo is now. Like, every single person is aware of Andrew Cuomo, and we all knew de Blasio too because he ran for president. But, you know, like Andrew Cuomo and de Blasio, they're up on TV. You know, I've seen lots of different mayors on TV lately, and granted, it's because their cities are disasters lately. But you know,
and you know, and the news wants us to see him. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I'm sure there's something to that. But though, like, they want us to see Trump too. I don't want to hear what the hell he's saying. You know what I mean? Like, I will not listen to what he's talking about. You know what I mean? But this guy, I turned him off today. It was today earlier. No, I think it was last night. I don't know if it was recorded or not. Yeah. So he got to like talking shit to the citizens at this press conference. I can't remember. I don't know what the, you know, time or where he was at or whatnot, but he was sitting down in this one, and he was like blaming them for shit, which, okay, I get it. But, you know, dude, like, you don't do that shit on national TV, man. I don't know. Like, you know, maybe take your ass to the local channels. Like, maybe they do need to get cussed out like that. But, like, I don't know, man. It was a bad look for me. Like, I don't like looking at white dudes talking shit to poor people. I don't like that. You know what I'm saying? It's just fucking.
Oh yeah. There's been like, I think I heard something about that. Right? He was like, I can't remember, but like I remember people being like, you know, you can't blame people of color just for
this shit. Right? Yeah, he was talking about people's flippant attitudes or some way that he put it. I forgot. I don't know, man. I turned this shit off. But, you know, Chicago. You know, the mayor, she jumped out. And she, like, I was really impressed with what she said. But sorry, I don't say that word. But the thing is, you can't fucking, yeah, you can't jump on that now. Like, you've been the mayor of that place this whole fucking time. You know what I'm saying? Shut your ass up. You know, like, I don't want to hear that shit. Do it. Go and do it. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, yeah,
for sure.
Man, Chicago fucking, it makes me sick. That whole subject makes me sick, man, how they damn treat this shit. Like, it's black people's fault. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
But yeah, so my bad, man. Anyway, we're talking about the Springs, though, right?
Yeah, but I mean, so those are things that we're going to talk about next time, though, right? Is like, you know, the fact that this shit's been hitting the black community, like a lot of reports have just come out about how it's been hitting the black community so much harder. And I think there's, you know, a lot of us probably understand why that's the case, but we'll get into that a little bit more.
The next time.
So one of the things I know with some of the stuff we've been doing in Colorado Springs, though, and in Colorado, is we have been trying to push the leaders a little bit. Like, I'd like to see Polis and and Colorado Springs city leadership come out in support of, you know, like rent freezes, mortgage freezes, stopping, you know, even if the city can't officially say like, oh, we're going to freeze people's rents, they can come out and support it. And that's going to signal to people like, you know what, if the leadership's not behind this, and you know what, the county can shut down evictions, which I know that like technically they're not really doing evictions right now, but they need to say,
but there's no set word like saying we're not processing it. Yeah, there's none of that. Yeah, they closed the courthouse is how they did it.
Yeah, and that's different from saying like, no, people shouldn't be evicted for the next like 90 days or 6 months, because this is so completely jacked up the economy, you know. And I think, you know, the city leadership could be talking about that. And I think they need to be, you know, I saw they have like a small business roundtable coming up. Of course, I couldn't tell, but it looked like it was an actual physical meeting, which I'm like, really? You're going to have a physical meeting?
No way.
From,
no,
like, you know,
not. They can't. It must be just a table or something.
Yeah, I don't know. I couldn't find the information. But, you know, they need to be doing more about, like, working people. I know several people who've been laid off or furloughed.
Me too.
Over the past, you know, 3 weeks or so. And, like, there's not really a lot of shit that the city is doing for them. And the homeless population, I'm just like, they're fucked right now. And the city is like, you know, I saw that they're setting up cots at the city auditorium, but I saw that too. Putting a bunch of people in a big open space is really going to be helpful.
Yeah. Well, I think that they picked that because they said that there was some sort of like circulation. They had some circulation system or some shit like that they're going to use. I don't know. Or if maybe they were putting it in. I don't know if it was already there, they're putting it in or something. As long as they're doing something, dude, like you know, if it feels like they're not, they kept saying that they feel like they're doing too much, they're probably doing just enough. Like, they probably got to do a little bit more. You know what I mean? So, like, this feels like, nah, it feels like you should build some shit. You know what I'm saying? It feels like we should be, that fucking museum feels like it should be being used for something other than getting built to be a museum right now to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. But
well, and other cities are, like, getting hotel rooms, individual hotel rooms to put homeless people in, because I'm like, that's going to hit their community like super hard.
Right. I think you're right, man. Just the leadership saying, hey, we think that you should, that, you know, whatever the rent should be put on hold until April, like they're doing, you know, the 26th or whatever it is, you know, prorate this thing, do something. So that way they're telling the owners and shit like, hey man, you got overhead coverage, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's things you're gonna have to do to cover this stuff too, but that's the responsibility you took as, you know, as being a business owner or a lease or whatever it is that you're doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
So yeah, man, I put a whole bunch of APBs out, man. Listen, if you're getting evicted, if you lost your job and you're being evicted, you know, like, hit me up. You know what I'm saying? Now, obviously, there's no, like, I can't just go in there and start tearing people's shit up. But, you know, if you made a plan with them and or you tried to make a plan with them and they refused you, or like if they took your plan but then they cut your cable off or cut your internet because you're using their junction boxes or whatever the fuck they're talking about, man, please let us know. Hit us up immediately. Yeah.
So that gets us to the next thing that we're talking about. So, like, the city we haven't been too impressed with what's going on with city leadership, but I have to say myself, I've been really impressed with, you know, just regular everyday citizens and activists that have just like really stepped up and done so much since this hit. You know,
So
like
much.
there, you know, we've had mutual aid that has popped up. We've had like a surge in like different types of activism, labor activism, tenant organizing, and things like this. So I have to say that, and there's been a lot of businesses too that have really like stepped up. So I know one of the things that has really happened is like the mutual aid networks that have popped up. I know like first thing when the schools announced that they were going to take a week off before spring break, just my wife Sam and a couple other activists, they're like, oh, we got to do something. We got to do something. And so they immediately were like, you know, because they did the same thing. And when the teachers were on strike in Scranton, my wife's like, we got to get food for the kids. They're going to be out, you know, a lot of kids rely on free lunch. And, you know, that's exactly what they did here. Like her and a couple other people were like, let's get together a grocery giveaway for these people that aren't going to have food being provided by the school. And, you know, that was just like, that was very early on. And things have only grown since then. You know, they set up and just to let people know, we'll put links to a lot of these things in our, down below the video and in our Facebook page. So this People's Grocery Giveaway was organized through Empowerment Solidarity Network and Chinook Center. And it was like, you know, they gave away like over 50 bags of groceries, something like, you know, I think it was like $500 or $700 worth of food that was food and money that was donated. I know that when me and my wife were going through the grocery store, I was like, look, we're not hoarders. We're not hoarders.
We're giving this away. Yeah.
Bags in like, it was like an hour. So there's been a lot of stuff like that going on too. Like, I know people have been organizing, especially in the Southeast, like food giveaways for people. The Colorado Springs Food Rescue too has stepped up and been doing more food give outs. So like, I want to give a shout out to them too. And all the people that have been stepped up.
Job, man. Yeah, it's been a whole bunch of folks, man. And, you know, the Hispanic grocery stores too, man. I've noticed that, you know, maybe not in my circle because I'm not, you know, I'm just not in that community or whatnot. But man, they're giving away boxes and like taking them to the apartment complexes and like pulling up with the truck and handing it out, man. It was like just vegetables and all kind of shit, you know what I'm saying? So they've been doing a great job with their stuff. And then a lot of the homeless activist outreach people that are, you know, that used to be homeless or, you know, are in between the two, you know what I'm saying? They like, even the folks that are like in halfway houses are like, dude, you know, you could be over here. We can this guy, he built a whole shed compartment in his backyard. I wanted to take pictures of it, but he had the shit blocked off and he was at work or whatever. So hopefully I'll be able to get some pictures and show you what he did. But he built this whole little shed in his backyard, and there's like 2 or 3 people back there, like on and off, you know what I'm saying? Like going back and forth or whatever, just to have somewhere to be away from the shelter, you know what I mean? So, you know, he's really dope with it. But anyway, man, so there's a couple things, and there, you know, I'm sure that there's so much that we don't even know about.
Totally.
You know what I mean? I've even heard about neighborhoods, like just individual people on their street just getting together and like, hey, you know, let's all just send 1 or 2 people to the grocery store or whatever, and you know, like just they're staying quarantined by themselves, you know. I went over, there was a down on the corner from my house, there was always people there, like it seemed like they were like defying this shit and just having barbecues every day and people pulling up at their house. And I'm like, man, what are y'all doing, man? So I mind my business, man, but I was walking my dog, right, and they got this rowdy ass pit bull, and he ran up on the fence or whatever, and I always keep a pistol. I keep my pistol everywhere I go. So, you know, the dog was running at me and my dog, and my dog, she kind of raised up and she's like, what the hell are you doing? And so I lifted my shirt up because I thought the dog was gonna jump the fence, you know? So the guy came over, he was like, oh, you're gonna shoot my dog and all of this stuff, right? So anyway, we got to the point of, hey man, why the hell is all of you over here in this garage? They were lifting weights like fucking meatheads in the garage, like lifting weight. They're all in the Army though. They're in the same unit together, and they had to they're training together. You know what I'm saying? So they work together every day. their families, or they go home to their family. So the people that we're seeing is the wives like introducing their kids to each other. I don't know if it's smart or not, but they're still working, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're around each other every day, like all the time. You know what I'm saying? So like, they're like, fuck it, we're gonna quarantine together. So we just got our little shit going on. So anyway, yeah. I almost shot his dog, but I figured out why they were damn congregating.
Did he almost shoot you?
I don't know if it makes sense or not, but that's the challenge, man. Could you imagine the leadership challenges people are going through right now? Like, bro, like, there's people that are like, they thought they were the shit, but they're finding out right now that they're not nothing. You know what I mean? Like, they're folding like wet paper bags left and right, man. So anyway, man, there's a lot of people that are, struggling with their leadership capabilities and their span and their scope of understanding and ability. They're wasting money and they're just gonna fold. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of bad, man. Yep.
But that reminds me though, you were talking about people just organizing on their street and shit. So like one of our friends, for example, she put together a whole like, and I'll share this too, like here's how to organize a mutual aid network on your street. And just so if people aren't familiar with what mutual aid is, I guess I should probably explain. Mutual aid is just like people helping each other out, basically. It's like, hey, I have this, I can offer you this, right? Just people helping out one another. It can be very powerful too. Back in the day, there's like in early 80s, there's an earthquake in Mexico City. And people talk about this as a turning point in Mexico City. Like the government couldn't deal with the disaster that happened as a result of the earthquake. And people started these mutual aid networks. And people talk about this as a turning point in Mexican politics because they're like the government and the PRI at the time couldn't do anything. And they're like, okay,
they said the cartel started that, right?
What's that?
They said the cartel started those things, huh?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't heard that before, but it wouldn't surprise me. I mean,
you haven't? Oh, okay. I've heard that. Well, I think I heard it on what's that show on Netflix? Narcos.
Oh, really?
The last episode of Narcos, the last little shit that they dropped or whatever, they talked about that earthquake and how it fucked everything up. And the drug dealers were like, bloop, bloop, bloop. Let's make money off of it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, capitalism.
I mean, that's part of, drug cartels and street gangs and shit. I mean, that's what a lot of times that's what they're doing. That they're not that unpopular in the community because they're helping out the community. You know what I'm saying?
They're helping people. Yeah, man. Yeah, exactly. they're doing things the government says they do.
The state can't fill in. But yeah, we'll post a link because it's like, you can set up a whole, she put together a whole spreadsheet that it's like, you can list like things you have to offer and they had things on there like, I can walk dogs. Like I can walk your dogs. If you're an old person and you can't get out, I'll take your dogs for a walk. I mean, don't John do that because he might shoot him, but.
No, I wouldn't shoot your dog, man. Unless it's crazy, man. I'll shoot a crazy ass dog. But yeah, no, I'm playing, man. God, maybe I shouldn't say that to you. Jill's gonna be mad at me.
No, it's good. But now people know not to fuck with you, so.
Yeah, they been do that shit. No. All right, man. Hey, can we talk about some businesses, man? I got a homeboy. I got a couple of them I want to shout out. Their businesses, they've been doing shit, man. So everybody's hungry, everybody's ordering food, man. I need you all to take one meal and order from Caliber Taylor. He owns Union Catering Company from the South Side. I believe he grew up in K-Land, but anyway, I just known him forever, so I don't know. He's from the South Side, man.
Right.
But though he's got the best soul food restaurant in the city, hands down. Everybody knows about him. So please, man, when you hear this, take this week, get one meal and order it from Caliber. Hit him up on Facebook. All you got to do is get it. Look on his menu on Facebook. Send him an inbox message, and then he'll hit you back, and you guys will do the whole transaction through there.
And it's called the Union,
and he'll
right?
bring the food. The Union Catering. Yep. And it's Caliber Taylor, CALIBA Taylor. Okay. And then he'll bring it straight to your house, man. Straight to your house, they deliver. Also, Hickman Trailers.
Hickman?
I know everybody's not in the market for a trailer, but if you are, if your business is, if you know a business that is in the market for a trailer, if you just got some extra money and you got something that you need a trailer for, now's the time to help this guy out, man. His business, he's from the South Side as well. he uses his business to reach out to the elementary schools. You know, you see him doing clothes. You know, taking school supplies to the elementary schools every year. He's also he does little things like, you know, he'll take cocoa and shit like this to the school or whatnot. You know, there's teachers that put things online and say, hey, my class needs this or whatever, and all of a sudden Hickman Trailer pulls up with a truck full of shit for the school. You know what I mean? So
Nice.
they sponsored some things, some events that we've done. They've, you know, they've given us generators. You know, they've given us all, you know, all kind of shit, man, that was not free, and they helped us get our shit across, man. So when you talk about businesses that we got to support, Hickman Trailers is one of them, and it's off of Hancock and Circle down there, you know, underneath the bridge. You know what I'm saying? And he's right there. So if you know anybody, if you got a company, your company is in the market for a trailer, hit him up, man. He does great business, man. Thanks.
All
Appreciate
right.
that.
It's in,
What you got, man?
is that the shopping center with the Popeyes in it?
No. So Hancock is
Hancock.
and Circle. Hancock and Circle, yeah. That's Pikes
Okay.
Peak. Yeah, but Hancock and Circle, you know, Hancock goes underneath the bridge on Circle, you know, so he's just before the bridge on Hancock.
Okay. All right.
In the south side, yeah, right behind Pikes Peak Park.
And I know Union Catering, they showed up to our community barbecue and helped out with the community and barbecue and shit. And they hung
Yeah, he
out all
donated
day
to the
too.
Devon Bailey Fund. Yeah, man, he was out there cooking his ass off, him and his wife. And I believe that's his son. I'm not sure what his, like all of his staff that was there, but they donated to the Devon Bailey Fund. They was one of the first ones to come through. Like, hey, he gave us everything that he made too. So he went out there and cooked, and he gave us all of his profit. So, you know, yeah, man, that's just the kind of dude he is, man. You know, he's real solid like that, and everybody knows him, man. So just the people that don't know him, please, man, hit him up and order a meal from him, man. Order a meal for your friends or something like that if you don't eat meat or what. He even has vegan stuff too, man. So maybe, you know, you might be able to talk to him on his inbox and see if he has anything that day.
Nice. And, you know, speaking of people who like stepped up for the community barbecue for the Devon Bailey fundraiser,
yeah,
Mountain Mama, they like hooked us up with like 25 pounds of beans and 25 pounds of rice. So I would just say if you need 25 pounds of beans or like really anything, I know they had a bunch of toilet paper and stuff when a lot of people ran out. So if you're over on the west side, check them out because they're cool and they support the community. And I gotta say, the King Supers down there on Hancock and Academy.
Yeah,
the manager down there was so nice. He was
man.
Other King Supers manager just ignored me when we were looking for donations, and he was super cool. You know, he like called me back and he came and he was like talking to me for a long time, and you know, like he gave us the money for the community barbecue. And then the Natural Grocers on South Nevada too. They hooked us up with way more than they usually do. So that was pretty cool about them. So these are all places that I would tell people to go support
National
because
Grocers,
you know, they're
on
being
South
cool.
Nevada.
The Natural Grocers on South Nevada, yeah. I mean, it's kind of part of the whole gentrification thing down there, but the manager seemed pretty cool. She hooked us up with like way more than they usually do. So
right. Yeah, that's cool, man. I like that shit, man. Especially you know, when they're like the King Supers, you know, like that guy, that was his effort. You know what I'm saying? Like it's
totally.
not, you know, Mountain Mama and the other place, like that's kind of built into their business plan or whatnot. But like that guy was his effort, man. So yeah, man, and you know, he gets bonuses when we go there and we shop. So the one on Hancock and Academy, man, I the same thing, man. We went there for donations and asked for things. You know what I'm saying? They told us no sometimes, but you know, more than not, they help us out when they can, man. And I know the guy that you're talking about, man, he's a good person. So anyway, yeah, go down there and buy some shit, get them a bonus, man.
Yeah, Danny,
because they are what's the word? They are essential personnel right now.
Yeah, totally.
For sure.
And be kind to your grocery store workers while you're down there because they're dealing with some shit. In fact, that kind of brings us to our next section that we want to talk about. All the shits that's been popping off with the workers. There's like so much worker unrest that's been going on as a result of this whole coronavirus outbreak, which is something that just completely surprised me.
Me too. I wasn't expecting that, man.
Yep. So, you know, even at, you know, Colorado Springs, we don't necessarily have like a ton of, it's not like a real strong, like Uniontown. There's not a lot of class consciousness or solidarity here or whatever. I mean, maybe there is, but I haven't seen a lot of it. But you
there's
know, even
history here though. Hey man, that People's College, the first People's College, man, that's, you put me on, man. There's a lot of history here for activism and union workers, man. And yeah, man. So it's definitely in the city's DNA for sure, man. It won't be the first time once we get all these people together. It won't be the first time they've seen it.
Yeah, for sure. But even so, like Jo-Ann Fabrics out there at Stetson Hills, workers protested out in front of there because Jo-Ann Fabrics was claiming that they were an essential service. You know, it's a fabric store. Like, look, I understand everybody wants to be an essential service, but the workers basically, you know, they stood out there, they picketed, and they said, look, man, the people who come into Jo-Ann Fabrics, I don't know how often you go to Jo-Ann Fabrics, Sean, but, you know, it's usually about like 65 and up is like pretty common age. You know what I'm saying? A lot of old ladies going in there.
I get hit on that. I get hit on in places like that.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, old ladies love you too, huh?
Yeah. Just strictly.
They got them shut down, actually. They said, you know, the workers out there picketing, KRDO did a story on them. I'll share the link if people want. And basically they're like, yeah, you guys aren't essential services. So now they're just doing curbside stuff, I guess.
Yeah, you know, it's funny that you say that because I know this girl, she and I would shout her out, but she hasn't started making a mask yet. But she's like, she does little knickknacks and sells things like, you know, really dope little handmade items, handcrafted stuff that she does. And I hit her up. I was like, hey, are you gonna start making these masks or what? You know, let me know so I can start selling them. And she says, I'm out of fabric.
Oh, damn.
So maybe she needed to tell her.
Maybe Jo-Ann's is essential.
Maybe they were kind of essential right now, man. Who knows, man? Shit, we're fucking everybody looking for N95 masks. Ain't no telling, man. I might run up in the hospital somewhere.
Yeah, or just mask up and go smash some windows and grab some stuff. Really.
Exactly, man.
We didn't say that.
Especially the ones that are pretending that they give a shit about their employees.
Yeah, exactly.
Hell yeah.
But all over the country, we've seen this shit. Like, people have been, the Instacart workers, you know, Instacart, they go pick up groceries for people. They're frontline workers, and they weren't getting shit. They weren't getting hazard pay. They weren't getting paid time off. They weren't getting personal protective equipment. And so they threatened to strike. And the company was immediately like, okay, what do you guys want? What do you guys want? And we've seen Amazon workers had a sick out. Just stuff's been going on all over the country. So, and in fact, so I remember the DSA.
200 people. I think it was like 250 people that walked out of Amazon, man. You can't get a whole bunch of people to do something like that for nothing, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, totally.
So,
Of course, Amazon fired the lead organizer, which.
Of course. He was probably late to work or something like that. You know, didn't have anything to do with the organization. Yeah.
But people should check it out. There's been a lot of stuff going on. DSA is doing a lot of organizing right now of people that are getting screwed over by, you know, their bosses that, you know, we just shouted out some good businesses, but there's still some business out there that kind of need to learn the lesson that, like, look, these workers are what are making the country function at this point.
Right.
Like, let's provide the shit that they need. Yeah. Like, so
you know, I was thinking about that, man. Like, you know, how is Lowe's, you know, they're an essential business. Lowe's, Home Depot, all of these pay Ace. So I'm like, man, I bet you they're damn corporate guys. All of them people, they're going to get fat ass bonuses. You know what I mean? That shit is going to be ridiculous. Because people are spending so much money at that place, man. It looks like Saturday afternoon every day at Lowe's.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
for sure.
I'm like, they're definitely not gonna compensate their damn workers for that shit, man. They're gonna, or maybe they will. Who knows? Maybe I don't know. Maybe they will, but definitely not what they earn. You know what I mean? Like, it's not gonna be anywhere close to the percentage.
Yeah, exactly. My feeling is they're not gonna do any extra compensation unless, like, people actually push. You know, so I would say if you work at any of these places, get together with your coworkers and start pushing for the shit that you need.
Hell yeah.
Businesses don't just give things usually out of the kindness of their heart. They're few and far between. Usually, especially these big corporations that are multinational, they didn't get that way by being kind-hearted. So people got to get together and start pushing, you know. But it's been. Could
you imagine if all of the Lowe's workers were like, "Oh, you don't want to give us hazardous pay? Okay, there's 250 people in this store right now. Watch this. Let's go.
Yeah, exactly.
And everybody just leave. They would be like, oh shit, wait a minute, wait. They would be calling the police, man. They'd have to call the police.
Yep.
What would they do? They wouldn't be out. That would be nuts, bro. Yeah, man. Man, maybe I should go put an app in over there.
Yep, that's the way to do it, though. That's the way to do it. If you need paid sick leave, like a lot of these places, they need to give people paid sick leave. Like if you have a sick parent or a parent that, you know, has like underlying conditions, like you should be getting paid sick leave right now for that.
Yeah. I checked. My brother works at one of the hospitals in the community up here, and I asked him about that, and he said that he was like, yeah, man, they're taking care of all of that shit. Well, at his hospital anyway.
Right.
So yeah, man, you know, anybody who's listening to this, if you hear like, oh man, my job ain't doing that shit, like, you want to just see if that's something that should be happening, man, hit us up, man. So, you know, because that's what we do, and probably we could just answer it real quick or whatever, or like identify a problem. Yeah, like, you know, and we can see it, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh man, this is something that you need help with or whatever, and we need to go get loud about this shit, man. Concord, I got a funny feeling Concord is fucking up, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Aspen Point, I have a feeling like you know, they're gonna make sure they take care of the county jail and all of the big shit, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But all of these little places where they got people locked up, man. Yeah. So anyway, we'll talk about it. We're gonna get some shit done this week, and then we'll talk about it next time.
Right. So I guess that kind of wraps it up for us. You got anything else to add?
No, I'm good, man. That's it, man. Appreciate y'all, man. We're trying to keep it short and make sure that you guys can, you know, don't get bored and just stay tuned in, man. And then put input. Let us know, you know what I'm saying? If there's things that you hear us talking about, like let's get the conversation going, you know, especially if right now if you're getting fucked over at your job, man. We want to know about that.
Yeah, for sure. All right.
Yeah.
So we'll sign out and we'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Cool. All right. Thanks, man. Peace, guys. Yep.